Walmart, the fluorescent lights, the endless aisles, that wall of giant TVs all playing the same demo loop. You walk up to the 65-inch 4K display, $398. You think you're about to pull off the deal of the century. But here's what Walmart isn't telling you. That TV is leaking toxic chemicals into your living room right now. Flame retardants banned in Europe, lead-based solder that releases fumes. Some of these TVs have literally caught fire in people's homes. And Walmart keeps stocking them because American safety regulations let them get away with it. We're exposing 10 TV brands poisoning your home. And by number 1, you'll understand why that deal is actually a health hazard wrapped in cardboard. 10. On. Walmart's dirty little secret. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the dumpster fire in the electronics aisle. On is Walmart's own brand, their house brand. You know what that means? It means Walmart looked at all the TV manufacturers in the world and said, you know what? We can make it cheaper. Spoiler alert, cheaper is not better. Here's what you need to know about On TVs. They're made by, well, Walmart won't tell you. Seriously, they literally refuse to say who manufactures these things. But the warranty paperwork mentions Element Electronics will handle repairs. You know, Element, the company we're also going to talk about on this list because their TVs are garbage too. So Walmart's own brand is so sketchy, they won't even tell you who makes it. Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, these TVs contain flame retardant chemicals at levels that would be illegal in Europe. Independent testing found PBDES, polybrominated diphenyl ethers, in the plastic casings. These chemicals are linked to thyroid disruption and developmental issues in children. In Germany, TVs must meet strict RoHS standards, but American regulations? Almost non-existent. So Walmart stocks TVs that would be illegal to sell in Berlin. And that new electronics smell? That's volatile organic compounds off-gassing into your air. VOCs cause headaches and respiratory problems. You're not buying a cheap TV, you're buying a chemical dispenser. The picture is dim, the colors are washed out, and the complaints? TVs dying within 380 days. Just outside warranty, how convenient. Vertical lines appearing on screens, Wi-Fi connectivity issues. And when you try to get help, good luck. Their customer service is all bots and email deflection. One person complained that after their TV failed at 380 days, On Support basically said, tough luck, it's out of warranty. No replacement, no refund, just a giant piece of junk. But wait, it gets worse. The Roku interface on these TVs, it lags like crazy. You press the remote and wait 5 seconds for anything to happen. It's like trying to stream Netflix on a potato. The price is tempting. A 75-inch TV for $398? That sounds amazing until you realize you're basically renting it for a year. If you want a TV that'll actually last, skip the On and save up for literally anything else. But that On disaster isn't even the worst TV trap Walmart set this year. There's another model flying off their shelves right now that has a hidden feature that can't do the one thing it's meant to do. 9. Scepter, when budget means broken. Okay, next up, Scepter, the TV brand that makes you appreciate every other TV you've ever owned. Scepter has been around for a while and they specialize in one thing, being cheap. Not affordable, cheap. There's a difference. Let me paint you a picture. You buy a Scepter TV, it works great for about 3 months. Then it tries to kill you. Multiple people reported their Scepter TVs catching fire, not overheating, full-on flames. One family woke up to their living room filled with smoke. Another found scorch marks on the wall. And when they contacted Scepter, we need to service it first. Service a TV that caught fire? When a TV tries to burn your house down, you demand a recall. But Scepter uses the cheapest internal components possible. Inadequate ventilation, poor heat management. It's a fire hazard wrapped in plastic. In Europe, these would never pass safety certification. The EU requires strict testing for fire risk. But in America, Scepter can sell you a potential house fire for $200, and it's perfectly legal. Oh, and here's the fun part. Power failures where the thing just won't turn on. Black screens with no picture. Terrible audio quality. Pictures so blurry, you'd think you need glasses. And screens that just go out after 13 months. 13 months! Just 1 month past the warranty. Funny how that works, right? People on forums are joking, but not really joking, that the only way to fix a Scepter TV is with a hairdryer. I'm serious. One person said they have to heat up the back of the TV with a hairdryer just to get it to turn on for 5 minutes before it dies again. That's not a TV. That's a $200 space heater that occasionally shows Netflix. The worst part? Their customer service is legendary for all the wrong reasons. Rude, unhelpful, they hang up on you. One reviewer said the support guy was so condescending and cocky, they'll never buy Scepter again. Another person reported calling 6 times and getting disconnected every single time. 6 times. And the build quality? These things feel like they're made of plastic wrap and hope. The stands wobble, the bezels crack. One person said their Scepter TV fell off the stand because the mounting screws were made of aluminum foil or something equally useless. Bottom line, Scepter TVs are cheap for a reason. They're engineered to fail right after the warranty expires. Save yourself the headache and avoid them. But at least Scepter TVs work for that first year. The next one on this list, it arrives broken more often than it arrives working, and Walmart's return policy makes getting your money back nearly impossible. 8. RCA, the nostalgia trap. RCA. You remember RCA, right? Those red, white, and yellow cables? The brand that used to mean quality? Well, guess what? That RCA is dead. The name got sold off. Now it's just a licensed brand slapped onto cheap TVs made by Curtis International, a Canadian company. And those TVs? They're junk. Here's the scam. You see RCA and think it's a trusted name, so you buy it. And for about 12 to 18 months, it works fine. Then bam, the screen starts showing lines. The TV dies, but the scam goes deeper. These Curtis manufactured RCA TVs use lead-based solder, banned in the EU since 2006. When your TV overheats, and it will because ventilation is terrible, that solder releases toxic fumes. You're breathing lead particles. Your kids are breathing lead particles. In Germany, lead-free solder has been mandatory for 20 years. But RCA uses lead because it's cheaper, and you pay the health cost. When you call RCA for warranty support, good freaking luck. People are reporting that RCA makes you jump through endless hoops. Send us photos. Fill out this form. Wait 3 to 5 days. Then nothing. No response. No follow-up. You call 10 times a day and nobody answers. One person on iFixit said, and this is wild, that RCA has been pulling this scam for years. They sell you a TV that works great until the warranty is about to expire, then it mysteriously starts having problems. You call for help, and they tell you to just reset it until the warranty runs out. Then they tell you to kick rocks. It's planned obsolescence disguised as bad luck, and the technical problems? Always the same. The TV won't turn on because the power board is fried. Horizontal lines appear across the screen. The picture dies, but sound still works. The remote stops responding. The microprocessor just gives up. Repair technicians say RCA TVs have a very common history of processor-related problems. The TV's brain just gives up, and fixing it costs more than buying a new TV. Here's another fun detail. People who try to get their RCA TVs repaired report that replacement parts are impossible to find. The company doesn't stock them. Third-party repair shops don't have them. Your TV becomes an expensive paperweight because nobody makes the parts anymore. So yeah, RCA might have been great in 1985, but in 2025, it's a con. Don't fall for the nostalgia. That brand name is a lie wrapped in false memories of quality. But RCA's nostalgia scam is almost adorable compared to what's coming next. 7th element, the Made in America mirage. O-Element, the TV brand that loves to brag about being assembled in America while delivering some of the worst customer experiences imaginable. Let me be clear, Element TVs are cheap, and you get what you pay for. Element loves to brag about being assembled in America. What they don't mention? The components are made in Chinese factories with minimal safety oversight. The flame retardants in the plastic casings, brominated compounds linked to neurological damage, would require disclosure in the EU. Here, buried in fine print, when these TVs overheat, which they do constantly, those plastics break down faster. The off-gassing increases. That chemical smell gets stronger. The number one complaint? Wi-Fi connectivity. These smart TVs can't stay connected. People report factory resetting every 2 weeks. You sit down for Netflix. weak signal appears, but your internet is fine. Your laptop works, your phone works. It's just the element that's broken. So you restart it, you reset it, you unplug it, you curse at it, nothing works. You call customer service and they ghost you. For real, people on Consumer Affairs and BBB are reporting TVs dying within 2 to 4 months. Constant buffering and pixelation, remotes that malfunction, screens that randomly shut off and won't turn back on. Warranty claims denied for no reason. It goes on and on. And here's the shadiest part. People are registering their TVs for the 2-year warranty. Element sends them emails asking for reviews within 10 days. Then, 13 months later, the TV dies. They contact Element and the company says your TV was never registered. Wait, what? You literally got my email from the registration. How can it not be registered? It's a scam. They deny warranty claims to avoid paying out. One person went back and forth with Element for 13 emails and got nowhere. Just automated responses and deflection. Oh, and remember how Element makes the on TVs for Walmart? Yeah, that's the quality control we're dealing with here. But it gets worse. People report that when their Element TVs do work, the picture quality is awful. Washed out colors, terrible black levels, motion blur so bad it looks like you're watching TV underwater. One person said watching sports on an Element TV gave them motion sickness because the refresh rate was so bad. If you want a TV that actually works, spend the extra $100 and get a TCL or Vizio. Element is a gamble you'll regret, but Element's lottery-level failure rate looks tame compared to the next TV on this list. This one has a defect so common, you'd be shocked you didn't find out sooner. 6. The manufacturing conspiracy. Same factory, different standards. Here's what Walmart and every budget TV brand don't want you to know. On, Element, RCA, Insignia, Scepter, they're all made in the same Chinese factories. Same equipment, same assembly lines, same workers. But here's the kicker. Those factories also make TVs for China's domestic market. And those TVs, they're clean. Lead-free solder, proper flame retardants, adequate ventilation. But the TVs they make for America? Cheapest, most toxic components possible. Lead-based solder banned in China's own market. Flame retardants that don't meet China's standards. Plastics that off-gas VOCs. Same factory, different standards based on what they can get away with. And American regulations let them get away with everything. In Germany, every TV must meet EU safety directives, RoHS compliance, REACH regulations for chemicals, electrical safety standards actually enforced. In America, the regulations are so weak these factories dump their toxic rejects on us and call them budget TVs. Walmart knows this. Best Buy knows this. They choose the cheapest manufacturers because American consumers don't ask about flame retardant levels or lead-free solder. Same factories, clean products for their market, toxic products for America. That $398 TV isn't cheap because Walmart is generous. It's cheap because it's made with components that would be illegal in the country where it was manufactured. You're not getting a deal. You're getting China's toxic leftovers, and Walmart is happy to sell them to you. 5. Westinghouse, cheap TVs with cheaper support. Next up, Westinghouse, a brand that used to make appliances and now makes, well, something that vaguely resembles a television. Westinghouse TVs are dirt cheap, like suspiciously cheap, and there's a reason for that. These TVs have a weird, infamous problem. They get stuck in service test mode. What does that mean? It means the screen flashes between red, green, blue, black, and white over and over and over. You can't watch anything. The TV is just bricked. And the fix? You have to ship it to a Westinghouse service center at your expense so they can reflash the EEPROM chip. That's tech speak for this TV's brain is fried and only a technician can fix it. But here's the kicker. This problem happens a lot, especially during DirecTV installations. One tech on Just Answer said they've seen this issue repeatedly with Westinghouse sets. It's a known defect. So why isn't there a recall? Great question. Westinghouse doesn't care. They just tell you to ship it in and pay for repairs yourself. And get this, Westinghouse TVs are often made by companies nobody's heard of. The brand is licensed out to random manufacturers, so you have no idea what you're actually buying. Consumer Reports says Westinghouse TVs are near the bottom of the list when it comes to quality. Translation: avoid them. For the same price, you can get a TCL Roku TV that actually works. Don't waste your money on Westinghouse, but Westinghouse's outdated tech is actually a blessing compared to the final TV on this list. 4. Sanyo, the black screen of death. Sanyo. Oh, Sanyo. This one hurts because Sanyo used to be good, like legitimately good, but those days are long gone. Now, Sanyo TVs are a one-way ticket to frustration. The most common complaint is what people call the black screen of death. The TV will work fine for a few months, then one day the picture goes black. You still have sound. The power light is on, but no picture. You turn it off and on. Sometimes it comes back, sometimes it doesn't. Eventually, it just dies completely. And it's not just one model, it's all of them. People are reporting this with 32-inch, 42-inch, 46-inch, 50-inch, and 65-inch models. Across the board, Sanyo TVs are failing at alarming rates. On Consumer Affairs, there are pages of complaints. People who spent $500 to $1,200 on Sanyo TVs that died within 1 to 3 years. Some even had smoke pour out the back. Actual smoke. That's not a glitch. That's a fire hazard. When electrical components overheat and start smoking, you're one spark away from flames. This happens because Sanyo uses inadequate heat dissipation. The internal components run too hot. Cheap capacitors can't handle it. Things literally start burning inside the case. In Europe, this would trigger mandatory recalls. In America, Sanyo keeps selling them. They know the TVs are dangerous. They're still on Walmart's shelves. And when you call Sanyo customer service, they're in the Philippines. They don't speak English well. They put you on hold forever. They promise to email you within 48 hours, and then never do. One person said they called Sanyo over 30 times and never got their refund. 6 months later, still nothing. Sanyo's warranty process is a nightmare. They make you ship the TV back at your expense, then ghost you. And here's the really shady part. People who bought Sanyo TVs from Walmart say that Sanyo told them these models have a known defect, but refused to do a recall. They know the TVs are broken, and they're still selling them. That's not a mistake. That's fraud. Don't buy Sanyo. Just don't. Save yourself the nightmare. And honestly, Sanyo might be the least of your problems. Because the final 3 TVs on this list are so bad, I actually had to double check they were still legal to sell. And what I found made me question why Walmart even stocks them at all. 3. Insignia. Best Buy's Walmart. Insignia is Best Buy's house brand. It's basically the On of Best Buy. And while Insignia TVs are slightly better than On, that's not saying much. Here's the thing with Insignia. They're fine for what they are. If you need a cheap TV for a guest room or a kid's bedroom, sure, Insignia might work. But if you want a TV that'll last more than 2 years, look elsewhere. The biggest problem with Insignia TVs is they're capped at 60 Hz. That means if you're a gamer, forget it. You're not getting smooth gameplay. You're not getting VRR, variable refresh rate. You're not getting HDMI 2.1 ports. You're getting the absolute bare minimum. And the picture quality? Meh. Consumer Reports says Insignia TVs are somewhat inconsistent and often fall short in HDR performance. The colors aren't great, the blacks aren't deep, but hey, they're cheap, and they use the Amazon Fire TV platform, which is decent. So if you just want something to stream Netflix in the background, Insignia will do the job. Just don't expect it to blow you away or last forever, because it won't. People on Reddit say Insignia TVs are acceptable if you have zero expectations. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement. One person called it the TV equivalent of a participation trophy. Another common issue? The remotes. Insignia TV remotes are notoriously bad. They eat batteries like crazy, the buttons stick, and they stop working after a few months. You'll end up buying a universal remote just to control your TV. And here's a fun fact. Insignia TVs are made by Hisense. So you're basically paying for a worse version of a Hisense TV with Best Buy's logo slapped on it. If you're going to buy a budget TV, just get the Hisense. At least you'll get better specs for the same price. But here's the thing, every TV I've mentioned so far at least tries to be a decent product. The next two, they're not even pretending anymore. and the stories I've heard from people who bought them are absolutely wild. 2. Hitachi, the ghost brand, Hitachi TVs. Are they even still making them? Kinda, but not really. Here's the deal. Hitachi stopped making TVs in 2018. The brand is now licensed to Vestel, a company in Europe, and those TVs are only sold in the UK and Europe. So if you see a Hitachi TV at Walmart in the US, it's probably old stock. Like really old stock. We're talking TVs that have been sitting in a warehouse for years, and the quality, terrible. Life Story Research gives Hitachi a 2-star rating and ranks it dead last among TV brands. That's not hyperbole, they're literally the worst. People report Hitachi TVs having low production quality, poor picture, and awful sound. And there's no customer support because the company barely exists anymore. If you see a Hitachi TV on sale, there's a reason. It's because nobody wants it. The technology is outdated. The specs are terrible, and good luck finding replacement parts or getting any kind of support if something goes wrong. One person on a tech forum said they bought a Hitachi TV in 2020, and it was already using panel technology from 2015. That's a 5-year-old TV being sold as new. The picture looked muddy, the response time was slow, and the smart features were so outdated they couldn't even run the latest Netflix app. Leave it on the shelf and walk away. And now we've arrived at the absolute worst offender on this list. This TV is so notoriously bad that it's become a running joke in tech forums, and yet somehow it's still one of Walmart's best sellers. 1. FFALCON, TCL's ugly stepchild. And finally, the worst of the worst, FFALCON. You've probably never heard of this brand, and there's a good reason for that. FFALCON is TCL's ultra-budget sub-brand. It's designed to be the cheapest TV possible. FFALCON TVs are primarily sold in Australia, but they're starting to pop up in the US at stores like Walmart, and they're bad. These are the TVs you buy when you literally cannot afford anything else. The picture quality is terrible. The smart features barely work. The build quality is flimsy. They feel like they're made of cardboard. Experts say FFALCON TVs are only acceptable if you're on a shoestring budget and don't care about picture quality. If you want a TV that delivers a good viewing experience, skip FFALCON entirely. The brand is so low tier, even within the budget category, that Consumer Reports recommends avoiding them. And when Consumer Reports, who tests everything, tells you to avoid something, you listen. FFALCON might be the cheapest TV on the shelf, but it's also the biggest waste of money. Spend an extra $50 and get a real TCL or Hisense instead. Here's what people are saying about FFALCON TVs online. The colors look like a bad photocopy. The motion blur is so bad, action movies are unwatchable. The remote is so cheap, it broke after a week. One person said their FFALCON TV arrived with a loose panel that rattled when you turned up the volume. Another said the legs were so flimsy, the TV tipped over when their cat brushed against it. And the customer support? Non-existent. Falcon is a sub-brand of a sub-brand. Nobody wants to take responsibility for these things when they break. Don't even think about buying one. So what should you buy? You're standing in Walmart's electronics aisle. That $398 TV looks tempting, but now you know what Walmart isn't telling you. Flame retardants banned in Europe, lead-based solder that releases fumes, cheap plastics that off-gas chemicals, TVs that catch fire. These aren't just bad TVs, they're toxic time bombs designed to fail right after warranty expires. Walmart stocks them because American regulations are weak. They bet you won't do the research. They count on you seeing that price tag and not asking about safety standards. If you're on a budget, stick with TCL or Hisense. They're affordable but meet basic safety standards. If you can spend more, go for LG, Samsung, or Sony. Those brands meet European safety requirements even for the American market. Is saving $100 worth breathing toxic fumes until it breaks in 6 months? If this video saved you from poisoning your living room, hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment. Did you know about the manufacturing double standard? Which toxic TV shocked you most? Have you bought any of these brands? And click that next video. We're exposing another retailer's toxic shortcuts.